Yeah, good afternoon all. So I'm Naim Ranamukha, a PhD student in computer science. Um, Before that, I would like to thank my supervisor, Professor Matt Dackham, and Assistant Professor Dana, and also my team members for the continuous support throughout this project. So, let's see what is meant by a place name. So, place name are location identifiers for cultural and physical features of the real world. So, it may be a region, settlement, or any public or historic interest or feature. So, place name has been identified as a core theme of foundational spatial data framework because place name has been identified as a more important feature for especially for spatial data management. So, managing place names, we know that Australia has 6 states and 2 territories. So, each state has their own repositories and mechanism for managing place names. So, they have a separate place naming authority. So, they are responsible for managing the place names. So, before going to the next slide, I would ask a question from you. So, have you ever been to Queen's Park? Yeah. Sometimes you maybe think about the Queen's Park in Morney Ponds, or maybe the suburb in New South Wales, or it may be a park in Geelong. So, there are so many Queen's Park in Australia. So some are parks and also some are suburbs. But without a context, how do you know which Queen's Park is I am referring to? So, if I mention the Queen's Park, the place type, and also any other related information and how they are spatially interrelated. So, if I mention the context, you can decide what is I am referring to. So, a place name without a context is just a word, but a place name with contextual information, it creates meaningful geographic identity. So, that's why enriching place names are so important. So, semantic data enrichment is a process of augmenting data with additional contextual information and also the main challenging task related to the place name is its integration, because most of the time spatial data are owned by different custodians, especially in Australia. So, when we are integrating those data, it should have a clear understanding of the semantic representation, because those data has different classification, different definitions and different semantics. So, when we are integrating those data, it should have a clear understanding of the semantic representation to resolve those semantic inconsistencies. So, semantic enrichment helps to resolve these semantic inconsistencies through the use of standard vocabularies and ontologies. So, we have enriched the place name data in Australia. So, and also there is a conventional approach to enrich the place, when we are enriching the data. So, that is script based methods. So, most of the time we are using Python based scripts, but when we are doing semantic enrichment, it is not a single task. It has some data cleansing, pre-processing and post-processing steps along with the enrichment. So, we have to maintain several data files. So, it is a complex task. So, it is not reusable, as well as the codes are more complex. So, it is not transparent. So, because of the limited transparency and limited reusability, we have to think about a more transparent and more reusable approach. So, we could know about the declarative mapping language. So, it is a technique that the special thing of this declarative mapping language is it separates the semantic mapping logic from the mapping mechanism. It means there's for the declarative mapping language, it has mapping rules. So, these mapping rules represents the semantic mapping logic, how we can enrich the data using standard vocabularies and ontologies. The conversion part, it means the transformation process from raw data to linked data, the conversion part is done by a separate tool. So this conversion makes the process more transparent and more reusable. So RML is a such declarative mapping language, and we have used this approach in order to enrich the place name data in Australia. So we have set up this on AWS and also used some PostgreSQL DB as well. So the special thing of this mapping rule is, let's assume that custodian has introduced new fields or new concepts we want to enrich. So then in that case, just we can modify the roles. We don't need to bother about the mapping mechanism. So mapping mechanism is done by a separate tool. So here we have enriched the place names, basically using the place name ontology. And this is the system architecture for the place name knowledge graph. So we have created a web application as well. So to serve the web application, we had to have a triple store. We created the spatial indexing, so it's required huge computing power. So we need EC2 instance, and we use the GeoSparkle Fuseki server and also web server to access the data. So when user query comes, then Sparkle query created, and the results will be populated on the web server. So we have placed some PMP tiles as well in order to populate the results on the website. So these are some insights. So here we have done some, in the mapping rules we have done several things. One of them is entity resolution. So this place is refers to the same place, Sundown Point, and the other one Laratu one. So these are the multiple names for the same place. And this is also the same geometry, but it has classified as different places, range and mountain. So we have identified it as two different places. So if I here. This is the actual our web application. We have South Australia has line strings, points and multi-polygons. So other states has just points. So here you can see this is actually in the real world, it's just single place. In the South Australian government, they have identified those polygon and this left side point, and also the right side point is in New South Wales. So this is located on the border. So here, this is the knowledge graph related to the this South Australian one. So it has multiple geometries, and so it is same. So we have identified it as in the post-processing step. So both states, they have identified this place as a lake. So but different name instances, they have same name values, but other values are different and different geometries. And also I would like to introduce another one. So we have enriched the indigenous names as well, just for the New South Wales and Australia. This is an indigenous name, and also here I have some spatial searching. So if I want to search the nearby places, then here the threshold distance is 5 kilometers. Then waterfall. Let's see what are the waterfalls around this one. There are 3 waterfalls, and so then key takeaways are the integration of spatial data is very challenging task, and the conventional approach to the semantic enrichment can resolve through declarative mapping languages, and our future works will go to further enhance the reusability and transparency in terms of spatial data processing. And also here I would like to thank RAISE for performing to support to perform the semantic enrichment more efficiently on AWS environment, and also we had to have a GeoSparkle Fuseki server on a cloud environment, and also it served as a public endpoint to make the web application to communicate through web application, and we configured HTTP web server to host the application. So impact will goes to government agencies and also the researchers and for the public as well, for better decision making, and researchers can replicate our rules, and also they can extend our works for their data sets as well, and also public, they can access this website in order to understand the contextual information of place names. So I should acknowledge Dr. Patrick, Cyrus, and entire RESHub team. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.